What's up, beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel, iCubed. Interested, informed, inspired. Now, if you're brand new here, welcome to you. It's the #1 place for overworked and underpaid millennials looking for encouragement that isn't your typical run-of-the-mill preachy self-help advice. Now, I also, on occasion, do social commentary on topics that may be considered overly debated, but which I happen to find interesting. And I like to think of myself as a movie buff, which is why I do movie reviews, and that's exactly what we're doing today. We're talking Ad Astra. Now, as you can tell from my voice, I'm sick. I have a cold, but that's okay. We're gonna power through this review. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. So I have done my very best not to watch anyone else's review on this movie in order to form my own opinions, which is why this review is way late. And again, there will be spoilers up ahead in case you have not seen the movie and would like to. Even though I'm pretty sure it's out of play in theaters at this point. However, I still would advise not seeing this movie tired.
Oh, don't do it. Yeah. Oh my God.
No, don't do it. Please don't do it.
There isn't a whole lot of action in this movie. A lot of the conflict is internal. There is some space fighting, for lack of a better description. However, it is very limited. This is a deep thinking sort of movie to me anyways. And again, this isn't my typical kind of movie. As in, this is not typically the kind of movie I would go see. However, I thought this would be a good movie to review based on the subject matter. And also because I'm trying to broaden my horizons. I always appreciate a movie with a well-written script, great dialogue, and some emotion. And this movie delivered in all of those areas. The emotion Brad Pitt brought to this movie was so real, it was depressing. Throughout the entire movie, I couldn't help but think of the saying, the higher you go, the lonelier it gets. Being an astronaut sounds very cool, but it takes a special kind of person to be one. Hence why throughout the movie, Roy McBride, played by Brad Pitt, has to keep taking all these mental and emotional evaluations. This was to ensure that he was ready for the task ahead. I got a sense that despite saying all the right things in order to pass his assessment, which then gave him access to board the spacecraft, he was not emotionally ready or capable of handling the task ahead. Physically, for sure. Mentally, perhaps. But emotionally, not so much. It was all in his very brief hesitations preceding his responses. So brief, if you blinked, you missed it. This was actually the main theme prevalent throughout the movie, even more so than the outer space theme. This sense of deep longing. There were several flashbacks of McBride's now ex-wife pleading with him to open up to her, but that was something he was unable to do because he himself had a deep longing for his father, who had been absent for as long as he could remember due to work, and then dies. Or so he thought. This movie entails McBride embarking on an emotionally dense journey to find his father on the planet of Neptune, as soon as he was made aware that there was very strong evidence that his father could very well be still alive, working on an unauthorized project that posed a threat to the entire universe, based on the unusual power surges. Once McBride found his father, Clifford, his plan was to dismantle this project and bring his father home to Earth. And he does find his father, looking rather disheveled. But to McBride's dismay, his father does not want to be taken home because he never considered Earth home. Neptune was home to him. The project he was working on was his life. And to further dig that dagger deeper into McBride's heart, his father tells him that he never likes being a father or a husband. His father, Clifford, was more concerned with his job and the pursuit of knowledge. Just let that sink in. Longing for your father your entire life. You've even been told he's dead, and then finding out he's alive after all, only for him to tell you he doesn't love you, and then you lose him a second time. Now, all of that being said, there are only two issues I have with the movie. The scene where two of his colleagues get mauled by primates while in space. That was a question mark. Where did the primates come from? It doesn't matter if a story is fiction, it still has to be somewhat grounded in reality. It has to make sense, be logical, and that did not make sense to me. The other thing is Clifford McBride, so that's Roy's father, living in that spaceship in Neptune for 30 or so years. Well, at least that's for how long they said the spaceship was missing or was last seen. How much food supply did this man have? I feel with movies as emotionally intense and intricate as this one, the focus is so much on the storyline that practical things such as what what was this man eating for 30 years is forgotten. Not to mention, I do not think anyone can survive for a whole 30 years completely on your own. Humans are hardwired to be social. No man is an island, and yet this man has survived a whole 30 years practically alone and seems relatively sane. He's able to properly articulate and hold a conversation when he meets his son for the first time in 30 years. And for that reason, I have deducted points.
Major deduction.
The movie has gone from an 8.5 out of 10 rating to a 7.5. Hope you enjoyed the review. I'll be back next Tuesday with a review on the Harriet Tubman movie. You do not want to miss that. And in order not to miss it, go ahead and hit that notification bell and like, share, and comment. And I'll see you next Tuesday. Deuces. Oh, I think I peed my pants. Oh. So bitter. Which then gave him the access. What am I trying to say?